Welcome to Spinal Songs mat movement. Feeling your feet connected to the earth through the mat. Let the toes spread and the soles of the feet and the heels. Soften through the knees. And come to feel your head. Imagine your head as a large vertebra which is connected to the top of your spine. So bringing the fingers now to the neck area and pressing into the vertebra here. You have 7. Then feeling the shape of the head coming back and the neck coming in. The head coming back, the neck coming in. I'm going to bring your hands back somewhere on the bones of the spinal part where the ribs connect. So from the neck down to the lower back, here you have 12, and just feel that curve coming back out, similar to the head. Then pressing into the lower back. So whereas the rib cage part of the spine has 12 bones, this part you're squeezing now has 5. And you might notice that the curve comes in, whereas the rib cage comes out. Then coming to rub the sacrum. The sacrum has 5 fuse bones. They curve back out again. And then beyond this, curling back in, is the tailbone. And this might have 2, 3, or 4 bones. You might be able to feel into the tailbone. It might help to bend the knees. So the spine, we can have a sense of being linear, but it is very curved in its organization. And let's play with these curves, snaking the spine. Then we're going to bring the palms facing forwards. Choose a leg, it doesn't matter which one. That comes back. We're going to move the tailbone forwards. So we're pushing the spine in relationship to the lead of the tailbone. And then change over the legs. We come back to parallel. We're going to roll down through the spine. So the head first. Bring the hands to the neck with the 7 vertebrae. Just feel how that lengthens them out. And then continuing the roll down the rib cage part of the spine. The lower back, the sacrum, and then reach the tailbone up. And with soft knees, just pulsing the tailbone up to the sky. Let that settle. Bring the hands to the shins and lengthen through the spine. We then soften the knees, let the pelvis come forwards. It will bring us all the way back up. So our spine moves in different ways. We rolled it down with a flex. We extended it out through a lengthen. But it can also move laterally. So with the left hand, take hold of the right wrist, comes up, and then just bring that over to the left side. Feel the curve. We come back up, and then over to the other side. So a lateral bend. And we come back. So when we say yes and no, it's led with the spine. So leading with the chin, nodding down to the chest and back. Saying yes. The next time, the chin's in its more neutral place, settle. To say no, we're going to lead with the nose. We're going to turn one way and the other. And this, you might notice, brings in a rotation for the spine. We're going to now deepen it, soften the knees, the arms are loose, and we're wrapping them round in a bigger rotation. Just see where the hands land at the front and back of your torso. Mine tend to come to the lung at the front and the kidney at the back. We let that ebb away. And we're going to bring the flex, the extension, the lateral bend, and the rotation together in a flow. So we're going to soften the knees, bring the pelvis a little forwards, reach up, look up, feel that extension through the spine. And then the arms come forwards and down. We're going to roll down into a flexion. We're going to bring the pelvis forwards as we come up. And then we're going immediately into a lateral bend one way. And then the other. And rotation each way, just one. Again. So this time I'll show you from the side. So we're extending up, the pelvis comes forwards. We're then flexing with a roll down. As we come up, the pelvis is forwards. We have a lateral bend, one way, then the other way. And a spinal twist each way. Doesn't matter which way you go first. One more time through. So pelvis forwards, extend. And then we're going to flex. Coming up, pelvis forward. We'll side arc. Then the other way. And rotate. Coming back, settle. Noticing how your body feels. From here, we're going to come down to sitting. I will need to adjust my camera and take a drink, and I'll see you there. So your legs might be more comfortable lengthened. They might be quite happy crossed. So although we have this curvy sense in the spine, I'll just turn on to an angle and we'll just feel this again. So the head like a top vertebra, feel that coming back in for the neck, out for the rib cage, in for the lower back, out for the sacrum, and then tucking back in for the tailbone. In this position, however your legs are, just find your cat arc. So you're pushing one way, then the other, coming through neutral. Let that settle. So the different ways in which the spine can move. So we have the lateral bends, and we're going to just take one to the left, keeping the sitting bones connected. Maybe you can pulse here. Up. Then we go the other way. and coming back. We're taking the legs into this extended butterfly. I'm going to turn again so you see more of my spine. So we're going to flex it by curling it over, just settling here. And then rolling back up. So the opposite to flexing is extending. Just take the hands behind. So the fingers can face in or out, depending on whichever is comfortable for you. And to extend the spine, we're going to really lift it forwards and up, soften back. Twice more. On this third one, either stay here, or you might find that you could really extend into this reverse table and back down. Again, two more. If it's not appropriate to lift, just come in and out with the pelvis down like we did before. And then rotations. So we're keeping the left leg bent. We're taking the left arm inside, and we're going to have an open rotation. So we push down, lift up. We soften back in. We change over arms for a closed rotation. We turn back. We let this leg lengthen, the other one bends. So an open rotation, right elbow to right knee. We push them against each other, turn and open up. We turn back, change arms. And come back. So we have a flow now to bring in all those different movements for the spine. We're starting with the flexion and a forward fold, really extending forwards but curling down. Curl back up. The hands go behind, so again, fingers can be forwards or back. We have that reach up through like we did before. You can either stay here or you can lift the pelvis, reach through the toes for your extension. and then we come back. We are bending the left leg across and turning for a closed twist. Coming back, changing to the other side. We return to find a butterfly position, whatever suits you, with the hands that can be on the floor, on your feet, or somewhere else. Then we're taking the left leg out, and we're going to have the lateral bend over. We're going to change to the other side. We come back, and we're going to do it all again. So the fold, flexing, rolling back up, so a little bit quicker. Hands behind, reaching through, staying here, lifting the pelvis. Coming back. Bending the left, wrapping around it. Coming back, changing over. Coming back, butterfly. And then opening. Coming back and changing to the other side. So from here, coming to bend the legs. Just place the hands lightly on the shins and drawing in the abdominals and just letting ourselves round off the sitting bones. Feel that curve into the spine and then back up. So as you come off the sitting bones, you might feel the tailbone tucking under. You push into the sacrum, the lower back. Back up. One more. Now we're going to stay with this one. We're going to bring the palms and the lower arms down. And we're just going to rock through the pelvis. So feel that in the lower aspects of the spine, the tailbone, the sacrum, the lower back. And then we'll readjust and come to lie on our backs with the knees bent. And we're going to stay with the lower aspect of the spine. I've got the hands on my projecting hip bones. I'm going to take one hand and just feel a little gap for the lower back, so it kind of arcs away from the earth. And if you also put your hand underneath the neck, you'll notice that that one arcs away from the earth, whereas the head, the rib cage, and the sacrum arc down towards it. Come back to the lower back. Bring the hand to the front. We're going to use the tailbone, suck in the abdominals, and just push that lower back into the earth. We have a little rock. So basically, as the tailbone moves downwards, there's more space away from the earth for the lower back. As it tilts up with abdominal sucks, then it flattens. So rocking through the spine with an emphasis on the lower aspect. And take a pause. We're going to bring one knee and then the other. If it's uncomfortable with both knees up, just stay with one knee and then change over to the other. And to take the hands underneath the legs to the back, and the legs come up. You have a little rock, so you're trying to help the legs suck in the abdominal so the tailbone comes off. We'll do the same, perhaps a bit higher up. Staying with this rock or letting the legs lengthen and bend. And we'll push through. Some of you might want to try and just see if you can bring the legs a little bit further over. You may be able to hold on to the lower back and lengthen the legs into the plow. You might be able to take one leg up and down. You might be able to take the other leg up and down. Whichever one you're doing, just soften back. We'll return to where we started with these little pulses. And then gently bring that down. So for the upper spine, I'm going to lengthen the hands up the fronts of the thighs, chin to the chest, upper chest. Just a few pulses here. I feel that curve in the upper spine. And then bring that all the way down. So we have a flow to move us through the spine in different ways. We're starting with this press, pressing the spine down. You might have a sense of lengthening here. Then the feet come down. We suck in the abdominals, chin to chest. We have this curl up, but we're not staying this time. And then we come back down. The arms come to the sides. We push through the feet and we're curling up from the tail, the sacrum, the lower back, the rib cage part of the spine, and then pressing into the head at the very top of the spine, rolling back down. The arms coming like a T shape, and spinal twisting one way, the other way. We come back. And we'll do it once more through. So we have the press. The feet come down. Chin to chest, slide up. Feel the curve. Slide back. Arms down. We curl on up, but there'll be a sense of lengthening now. Extending through the spine. We bring it back. We take the arms out and spinal twist. Knees one way and then the other way. And we come back. So for the lateral bends, we are lengthening the legs. We are taking the right leg just out a bit more. The left is coming on top. We're then bringing the left arm. I'm going to take hold of it with the right wrist. And we kind of make a banana shape, and we're extending or pushing through the wrists and the ankles to make that shape. Feel that lateral bend. Release. So change over the wrist, so it's left over right. The left leg is out, the right one crosses. We bring then the arms over to this left side and we banana that way. It creates a subtle lateral bend in the spine. And we release. I'm going to have one leg lengthened, the other one bent. It really doesn't matter which one you choose. And we're going to use the bent foot to push us so that we can roll onto our fronts. So settle here for a moment. Then we're going to use one of the hands just to draw that shape. So it's coming, rounding over the back of the head, down and in for the neck. And where you can reach on the rib cage, then down again to the lower back, up and out for the sacrum, and then back in for the tailbone. We come back. We're now bringing the arms alongside the head. We're going to slide the left arm and leg and then the right. And you might feel a subtle lateral movement that's created. You might feel the spine moving a little side to side. And we let that settle. The left arm then comes down by the side of the body. The right palm is flat, the elbow is up. The right leg then lifts, you roll onto the left side. You can leave the leg here or you can bring it down. It may touch the floor. You might have the heel in the hand, but this is your rotation. You roll back, and then we'll try it on the other side. So the right arm comes down by the side, the left palm is down, the elbow is up. We extend that left leg. It could stay up, it could bend and start to come down. It may touch the floor. You might even be able to bring the heel into the palm of your hand, but feeling that rotation. And then we come back. From here, we're going to let the legs widen. We're going to come up with kind of sphinx arms. Let the shoulders relax as much as they can. So feel the upper extension in the back. You could either stay here, have a little rock side to side. You can see my pelvis moving. Or if it's comfortable for the lower back, and this is what you want to check, we are going to raise. If you feel that this is strong enough, you can move down and back up a few times. If you're feeling very comfortable in that lower back and want to try to take the elbows off, you can come up and down. So you're either going down and up with the elbows staying connected all the time, or you're coming up and down, letting the elbows rise. And then we come back. The legs are coming in. We're going to flow a few positions and movements together. We're starting with this low cobra or sphinx, but this time the legs are parallel. We're not coming up any higher, but we're staying with this. We then come down, and we're going to feel the extension in the lower part by bringing the hands underneath the projecting hip bones, raising one leg, lower, raising the other leg, lower, draw in the abdominals, the gluteus muscles, the hands onto the back of the thighs, and just see if you can lift upper and lower. So very strong extension for the spine. Then you're coming back down. We're taking the head onto the hands, the forehead onto the hands. The legs come out wide again, they bend. The soles of the feet come together. The right foot comes down the left leg, and you look to the right, comes back up. The left leg comes down the right. You look to the left and back. Bring into parallel, lower one leg, then the other, and we repeat once more. So, feeling the extension, upper body, then hands under projecting hip bones for the lower body. One leg raise, the other leg raise. Then the legs together, drawing the abdominals, gluteus muscles, hands to the backs of the thighs. Just lifting upper and lower body. Release down. Resting forehead on hands. Legs come out. We bend. Soles of the feet together. Right down the left inner leg. Turn to the right and back. Left down the right in your leg, turn to the left. Coming all the way back, legs together, one leg down, let the other leg come down. A little rock again from side to side to loosen out. And then coming back to a sense of the lateralness of the spine, just sliding one arm and leg away from each other, and then the other side. Settle. And then drawing the arms in, finding a way to push into a child position. Now your child can be up quite high, either with the toes tucked under or not, or it could be a much lower one. The arms could be forward or they could be back. We're going to settle here, feel into the curve that's being created through the spine. Either tuning into the breath here or creating some in-breaths and allowing some out-breaths. You might be able to feel this breath somewhere along your spine. And then gently and easily make a transition from here onto your hands and knees. So the spine moves in different ways, and we can relate this to the evolutionary process. So if we go back to 400 million years ago, the planet full of water, and we have the fish, and the fish has a lateral way of moving. So if we imagine that the feet are the tail, they're going to come to the left and look to the left, and then to the right, look to the right, and just feel how this laterally bends the spine. So probably the oldest movement of the ones we're playing with today. We let that settle. And then we come still with a watery world to 180 million years ago. We have the mammals like the dolphin and the whale, and this brings us with this arc up and down, often associated with the cat and cow, but has its origins with the whale and dolphin. Imagine there a movement in the sea as the dolphin leaps out and back in. And then the early existence, the uprightness Being upright enables for visibility and need to rotate to look at what is around us. So we're going to take and lead with the pelvis, and we're going to start to circle and let this wrap in a rotation all the way up through to the head. And then we are circling the pelvis the other way, so the opposite way to what we did before, and let that wrap up. Let that settle. So our flow here, we're going to first extend the spine. We come up into this high cobra. So we're bringing that weight through, extending. We're going to curve back. We'll flex back. In order then to extend again, we're coming up to a high kneeling position. We'll place the hands into that lower back, bring the pelvis forwards and have another extension. Lengthen through the neck. Then we are placing the hands down. We're curling the toes under. We're going to bring that tailbone now up to the sky. We're inverting the spine. Here, have a sense that you can push the tailbone up, push the crown of the head down, and just feel how the spine is inverted. We come back. We're going to take our right arm. We are threading it through. So this is our rotation here. You can either keep the arm bent or you could lengthen it. We come back in. If we're lengthened, push back up and find it on the other side. So the left arm comes through. We possibly lengthen. We bring that hand, if we're lengthened, back in. And we flow through it all one more time. Extending, flexing, extending. Coming to now with the downward dog, invert the spine. Reaching up with the tailbone, down with the crown of the head. Back down. Right arm under. To twist. Coming back. And then to the other side. Coming out of this twisted child, give one leg a shake out, give the other leg a shake out. From here, we're getting ready now to put all our 5 flows together. So I'm not going to readjust my camera, so you'll find that you will lose my upper body and head, but we're not there for very long. So we curl the toes under, bring the hands back, push ourselves a little way so we can bring the feet under. And then we're going to bring the pelvis forwards and roll up to standing. Take the time that you need. I will turn. So from here, we reach the arms up. So they're up over our heads. We are pushing the pelvis a little bit further forward. Feel that extension through the back. And then we bring the arms down. We soften through the knees. We roll on back down. We bring the pelvis forwards as we come up. So we're going to take the right arm up and over the head. So we arc to the left. Then we'll change over to the other side. You can't see my arm arcing, but it's there. Then we come back. And we have a rotation each side. Doesn't matter which side you start with. There. From here, we're rolling down, finding our way into sitting with the legs extended. From here, we have that fold. We flex here, coming back up with the hands behind, whether the fingers are forwards or back. We're extending up. We could keep the pelvis down or we could push up. We come back. The left leg going to bend over the right. We turn towards it. Your rotation. We come back. And then it's the other leg. From here into butterfly. We're going to extend the left leg and arc over. Then the right. We come back. We are bending the legs. And we have support with the hands. We're curling up the tailbone, rolling back. We're going to lower the arms down as we come onto the sacrum, the lower back. And then we're all the way down. I just need to wiggle a bit down the mat. So from here, we have the knees up. We press the spine in. The feet come down. The hands are to the thighs. Chin to chest. We curl up. We come down. The arms come down. We push through the feet. We are going to then curl the spine off from the tailbone, right up to the top of the rib cage area. Feel the pressure into the head, neck, and then roll back down. The arms then come out shoulder height. Spinal twist one way. Spinal twist the other way. The knees come back in. One leg lengthens. The other one stays bent. The foot of the bent leg we push, and we're going to roll over onto our front. So land here. And then we draw in the abdominals, the gluteus muscles. We come into our Sphinx or low cobra. Feel where that moves in your spine. Come on down. The hands come underneath the projecting hip bones. We draw in the abdominals, the gluteus muscles. We let one leg raise. Lower. Then the other leg. And lower. The hands come out. They're coming to the backs of the thighs. We draw in the abdominals, the gluteus muscles again, and we start to lift the legs and the chest off. Lower back down. We rest the forehead on the hands. The legs come out as wide as the mat. We bend them. The soles of the feet come together. The right leg comes down the inside of the left. We turn the head to the right. We come back up. Then it's the left leg that's coming down the inside of the right, and we look to the left. We come back. We let the knees come in so you're more paralleled. We lower one leg gently, adjust for the kneecap, then the other. Take a moment here. And then we take ourselves easily, comfortably, slowly into a child of our choice. It can be high, it can be low. The arms can be forwards or they can be back. Connecting in to the breath and where it might move in your spine. So you can open your awareness to this, or you can create some in-breaths and allow some out-breaths. Letting go of the breath awareness, readjusting the body into hands and knees. So the last flow, the hands come forwards, we bring the weight through. We then flex it all back before coming up to a high kneeling position. The hands to the lower back, drawing in the abdominals, the gluteus muscles, extending again. And back. The hands come down. We curl the toes under. We have the downward dog, so we invert the spine. We're reaching the tail to the sky, the crown to the earth. We return to hands and knees. The right arm then scoops under. We can stay here or extend the other arm. If the arm's extended, we bring it in, we push up. We change over, so it's the left arm scooping through. You might come onto elbow, it might be the shoulder. The arm possibly extends, really up to you. If the arm is extended, we bend it back in, we push up. We're going to give one leg now a shake out, and the other leg a shake out. Now, in theory, we could come back to standing and do it all again, but because of the length of the session, we will not be doing that. Instead, we're going to find a comfortable sitting position. So whatever feels good for you. So your legs might be straight. You might have one bent, one lengthened. You might have them crossed with knees high. Just see what feels good. We have a verticality in the spine, so we are reaching up and down, and it does feel very linear, even though we have these curvy shapes in the spine. But we're going to focus on moving both down and up vertically through the spine. I'm going to let the shoulders circle back and forwards. Let them rest easy. I'm going to take the spine then back and forwards just a few times. Come back to that sense of growing the spine up and down. Then right hand towards the left, have a little rotation there. The other way. So we've had extending, flexing, rotating. Now, left hand to right wrist. We'll just come over to that side. Lateral bend, change over wrist, come to the other side. And then throw our hands into the heart area, just above it, the thymus, supporting your immunity. Feel again the spine can grow up above the heart and down below, above to the sky, below to the earth. And close your eyes and connect into your bodily sensations, how you're feeling. There may be twitches and tingles and itches. You might feel light in some places and heavy in others. There may be areas of discomfort and other areas of ease. You might feel the rise and fall of movement created by your breath. You might even feel the vibrations of your heartbeat. Surrounding yourself, you have the skin. Here you can feel your external environment, the air temperature, and how it makes you feel at this moment. You receive the world through your ears, and then from closed eyes, softly open to the external light, color, textures and shapes. And thank you very much for sharing this journey with me. So you might have time to stay here to explore more, to rest. You might need to transition. So again, the skin is a very good place for transitioning. You give yourself either a firm or a gentle rub, depending on what you feel you need. This brings you more to your surface self. And I'd like to thank you once again for being with Spinal Songs Mat Movement. Thank you.